Hey everyone, I'm Rather Go here, back with Operation Narcissistic Hawk. It's a difficult destroy device mission. We're going to be countering the Dark Event High Alert. It's very worth doing. And looking through our team here, we have obviously both Sparks. We're out on a mission, and let's quickly talk about some mod changes while we're here. Not even mod changes for this one, the Outrider frame. I was thinking this is insane. I don't know what this is for, but the Pioneer is so strong it surely doesn't need 20 additional crit chance on basically all of its attacks. And no, this is explicitly for the Pioneer, so I'm going to be trying it out. I do think that eventually I'll prefer using expanded magazines, especially when we get late game perks that require using more ammunition. But for now, I'm definitely going to be taking the huge bonus to crit chance, because I'm very frequently hitting multiple people with the Incinerator, and this is just going to end up contributing some amount of damage that probably matters. At least more than one additional shot in the gun will. On the subject of Incinerators though, Purifiers have been sort of chumps this campaign. I kind of just started ignoring them because they don't do anything. Originally, I only wanted to run a better ad for enemies. I just wanted to get a feel for that. I wanted to make sure that nothing was incompatible with it. I just wanted to see baseline better ad because it sort of touched all parts of the game as far as enemies are concerned. But seeing as Purifiers are complete jokes, I've installed Purifier Revamp, and that's going to give them a pistol they use sometimes. It's going to improve their AI a little bit, change them a little bit. I'm hoping that it'll be compatible with better admin, there won't be any issues. As far as I can tell, there aren't, but there probably are. That said, it really can't make Purifiers less threatening. Whatever issues might arise aren't as bad as me just walking up to the enemy, letting it flank me, and saying, yeah, that's better than the alternatives. Because right now, Purifiers are so trivial that they're honestly just a joke to me, and I'm willing to install mods to fix that. And this is a base game Purifier problem. It's not anything to do with better admin. Purifiers are just stupid enemies that waste their whole turn very frequently. And then even when they do attack you, oftentimes they just inflict burning, which is something you take 1 to 2 damage from, and that's it. Now, I do have more mod changes than just that, but they're not related to the mission. We're going to talk about it after we do this. Let's go over what we have for the mission. We do have our lowest ranking soldier, Squatty Psycho Mantis, a combat engineer on the mission. We've also got a big pile of sergeants. We have Frantic Nightingale for our sapper with gas grenades and flashbangs. We have Iron Rhino fully kitted out, first soldier to ever be kitted out in this campaign, with the experimental blade, a scoped mag weapon, and Predator armor with the 3 full items, carrying a flashbang and AP rounds. Stolen Invaders out here with a kitted up mag rifle, tracer rounds, and a med kit so they can actually contribute with their gun and do their job as a medic. We have a real combat engineer, not a squatty, Sergeant Hidden Tornado. We're also bringing our Reaper with dragon rounds. Honestly, I upgraded their Reaper armor thinking that they would still get an additional item slot. Now that I know it only gives them health, it was almost certainly wrong. I should have bought something else. Oh well. I didn't upgrade the Vector Rifle, but it turned out that upgrading the Vector Rifle would just give me 1 more top-end damage and maybe some crit damage. Until I get the bridging tech, anything that I get from the basic tier of mag weapons really isn't much of an improvement. Which brings us to the last two. We have our 2 Sparks, Exalted Citadel, the Infiltrator. He's still a squatty, he's got a lot to go. He's got a scope on his heavy cannon and a Mark II Gremlin for more and better repairs. And on Ashen Fortress, we have the new Kinetic Spark Shield for even more shielding than we previously had. The damage is the same, again, no bridging tech, no damage increase. And neither of them have their Spark armors, but they're such tanks I'm not too worried about it. Let's get into the mission, let's see how it goes. Something I'll mention now, because it's a mod change that's going to come up constantly, is the sewers and the subway are very similar maps. There's also a cave map that's very similar. There's just a lot of underground maps, and the sewer is easily the least interesting and worst of the lot. We're not in the sewer right now, that's why there's anything to talk about on this map. But I've installed a mod that, provided nothing has conflicts with it, just removes the sewer from the game. There's enough underground maps already. The sewers are the least fun map. They're the reason it feels like I'm underground too much. The other maps don't bother me at all. And I don't think the sewers are really harder. They're just less fun and more tedious. And I think the game is probably better for removing them. Anyway, let's get into this mission. We're not that far from the objective, but there's a lot of walls and weird line of sight between us and it. Once again, I should have considered putting my medic in a civilian disguise just to use them as a scout. I'm just going to run my infiltrator to here, take multiple positions of half cover so that I'm safe from anything walking up. Clears out this line of sight so I know nothing's coming there. Despite Iron Rhino's mobility stacking, they can't really get that far. It looks like I'm just going to be moving up on everyone this turn. There's really nothing I'm seeing. I'm just trying to get far forward. And that's completely fine. So that's everyone moved up, I believe. Let's see what happens. Probably nothing. Our lines of sight here are so minor. We can just barely see into the next room. Oh, speaking of the double, we can see something. Viper pod with like 5 friends. Didn't quite get a look at them. I'm just going to blue move bug around like this to minimize the amount of tiles I see. Make sure that I don't accidentally pull them. And odds are we can get a really good ambush next turn. In fact, we might be able to get a very good ambush next turn because they're far enough back that I should be able to run in like this on Ashen Fortress and get the incinerator, even though it's such short range these days. Now, first things first, let's get in here, open this door, and look around some more, because there may be a second pod in here that we're pulling. We honestly just don't know yet. I'm just gonna hop over to the other door so I can open it next turn. I think it's very likely that I'm just gonna be fighting out in the open next turn, so I'm gonna move my spark into position for that now while I'm actually able to do it. Is there another entrance down here? No. I'm just going to be moving my Reaper to here then, so that she can run across and start scouting separately next turn. We don't need her to contribute to this first fight. Hidden Tornado is also a common engineer. They're durable. We'd want them up front, so we'll put them here. They don't necessarily need full cover, unlike some of our other weaker soldiers. Seeing as my only death so far in this campaign was a Sapper, I have this constant inclination to baby them, but I'm very likely to be pushing the Sapper forward anyway, and we're going to be having to go in half cover when this happens. Stone Invader's one of the few characters that actually might hang back, so I'll leave her in full cover, and now we can see what this Viper Pod is up to. And more importantly, if anyone shows up, because the Viper Pod is probably just walking out the train. As a matter of fact, that's exactly what it's doing, and oh my god, it went so far it got flanks, I think. I think it pulled. Did it not? Hold up. You're not flanked? Oh, it's got line of sight blocked by this wall right here, by the skin of our teeth. So I think their patrol path then, because I've been wondering how far a unit can patrol. They can patrol their full movement speed is what I've just learned, because that's what happened. So I think this door is blocking line of sight, even though it's clearly got windows in it, or my UI is just wrong. I've got a landmine onto the Assault and the Viper. I think I'm just going to toss this and then rocket right behind it. I don't really want to put all of the experience on Hidden Tornado, which sounds like what I'm doing if I make that play. Let's go scout around with our Reaper instead. Let's see what's likely to happen after this. I've got 4 stacks of Shadow. I'm just going to blue move here to get the most vision without extending any further. I can't imagine getting flanked here. So I'm just going to take this move and look down these corridors. Alright, we've got something right on the objective. We need to be careful moving forward. In fact, moving to here would probably pull up very immediately. So we don't want to move forward. Which might mean we don't even use Ashen Fortress this turn unless they split off towards us. So after looking at rockets a little bit, like, I could do this, but that could still blow up my own cover. I think I'm still doing the rocket, even though it seems like a little bit overkill. I don't like stacking the experience on Hidden Tornado, but it's also just, like, very obviously the most efficient opening I have by a substantial margin. I'm not going to worry about targeting the Viper, because I want this one tile of drift to never, ever hit us.
With pleasure.
Everyone else dying is more than good enough. Huh. Interesting. My one tile of drift appeared to have gone, like, 5 tiles that way. It is the average, right? One tile of drift is, on average, what happens. I can confidently say that wasn't the average, though. Also, there's another pod still on the objective. They looked terrifying. So that was way worse than expected. Things just went from, like, thoroughly under control to absolutely awful instantly. The good news is we're getting a Met Corpse out of the mission, I guess. I think I probably overdrive this turn on both of my sparks. I think I'm going to fire a rocket here-ish, and it's going to scatter wide, because it's going to be after I blue move here and drop a mine on the heavy. But no matter where it scatters, it's got to hit somebody, and this squaddie's not doing much work any other way. And this should never be blowing up my own cover. I can still do this, I think. Now let's see where we can throw this rocket to. It's going to scatter a lot. But I mean, wherever it goes, it's doing something. So let's roll these dice and make our decisions afterwards. Alright, that's good. We brought one down, we shredded armor on something. The Viper probably needs to die. My gun deals 5 to 7, right? Yeah, so I have to overdrive if I want to ensure the kill on the Viper. And I could just move here then. Move here with overdrive, shoot, hopefully kill, and then shoot the assault. If it lives, chip it with a shotgun on someone. That seems very, very reasonable to me. Iron Rhino is actually over here. Let's move them first. I can find a way to get value out of overdrive. That's not an issue. Iron Rhino has slashes on these targets, followed by pulling back into full cover. So Iron Rhino will find value no matter what I do with Exalted Citadel, and I do think this play is the best thing I'm doing with Exalted Citadel. Now, only a 99, 1% for things to be very awkward. Unfortunate there. But we can finish off the assault as well. Let our Sapper take out the Viper. Oh, that is rough. Well, that makes it, like, very obvious what I'm doing with Iron Rhino, then. Let's just wrap this up, because no one else is going to be in a great position to fix it. We'll figure out where the breakthrough move goes later. My Sapper needs to move forward into full cover somewhere. Here seems fine. There might be some risk of flank if I take the left side, so I will. We just wrap this up here. Making our Spark look a little bit redundant. My medic can move here to full cover. That's just the best position she'll be getting this turn. I think I probably just take the 87 on the Spark. But it's never killing, and I could take like a 59 to kill a trooper here instead. And I think that's just better than putting throughput onto the Spark. Very nice. I'm worried that I can see like stuff hanging out back here. It does seem very likely that I can shield bash here. I don't want to route like that. But I think I can take this shield bash with some degree of safety. And otherwise, Ashen Fortress isn't participating this turn, so I mean, what else am I doing? Very, very good.
Threat eliminated.
And that gives me an action back. God, I forgot he'd gotten that rank up. We use our incredibly wide Incinerate over here, I think. Oh, did I blow up the wall and get caught? I did insane damage. Is he burning? Yeah, he killed them both. What a champion. So now all that's left is Iron Rhino's position. I just move here and take forward-facing full cover. The mech might be able to run down and see it, unfortunately, so I don't know if that's actually correct. I just take this corner cover, right? Because the Spark's going to shoot at somebody who's in the open, i.e. one of my Sparks. That guy burns to death. Fantastic start for us. Heavy goes down. I'm still in half cover. It looks like I blew out my full cover, unfortunately. Purifier. Wait, we've revamped them. Doing things. I don't like the armor shred. Not a fan of that. Where's he going? He might have had to... He's just shooting Exalted Citadel. Or trying to, at least. Kind of embarrassing. So that last squad has a mech, which is exactly what I want to see. It means I can make another Spark after this. It will unfortunately be the artillery Spark, so it's going to be the least good one I have, but hey. It's more troops. That's what really matters. And that pod is active. We can expect to see a lot of Overwatches come down because they were right on the edge of vision. Oh, is that a... Oh, wow. Okay. Okay, there's a lot going on here. I was not expecting another one hiding in the back there. So we got like 5 Overwatches in the back. A little bit going on. This sectoid in the back is actually maybe killable. Like, somebody has to pull these Overwatches, and it is literally Ashen Fortress's job. I can take this 78 to just kill the sectoid, and somebody has to pull these Overwatches. It's why he's on the team. Alright, so we lost 3 shields there because we got 4 back. 4 shields. Oh, wait, did he miss and have, like... I guess I got the sectoid. What a champion. Ashen Fortress does so much work, even with the nerfs. The Incinerator here is not very good, so we probably just take our single target shield bash. You gotta miss eventually, don't ya?
Optical system recalibrating.
Now for breakthrough, I think I'm just moving back here.
Affirmative.
I want to let them think they're safe here, so I can just move back and flank them with the flamethrower, and I also want to be further in range so that I can have my Exalted Citadel heal Ashen Fortress. Somebody needs to drop an explosive on this mech. I think the play is just to move my sapper here and have him drop a bomb. Seems very, very reasonable. I'm a little bit confused by this AoE. I don't know about that one, but it's fine. We can do this and get the target we need. Now, I think this might put it in kill range. It's pretty unlikely to kill. I was going to say Exalted Citadel might be able to just finish him there, but it's actually not even possible. That's fine. We'll keep slowly moving our medic forward, and we'll take another shot with her. Stone Invader, what are your odds? Well, I'm not happy about that. I guess you're overwatching then. We don't have to worry about anyone running forward here, so I'm just going to move up and take the shot here with an tornado. Oh, something about shotguns that never comes up. It didn't happen here. Armor gives 25% graze chance per point of armor against shotguns. It's the downside of their insane built-in stocks. Anyway, Exalted Citadel should now be able to easily and guaranteed finish this off. Once again, showing who the superior robot is.
Do I get a badge or something? I need to reload.
I think I might just run forward here and see if I have the flank shot on the gunslinger. And if not, I'll reposition out here. No one should be coming here. They'd have to be here to flank me, basically. I guess they could take this position, but it's unlikely, is what I'm saying, that I have any punishment for taking the corner cover there. I've got a 93. I don't know about that 7% to leave my Reaper in the open. I do know about this slash, though. I'm taking it. If Iron Rhino is in range to get something done, which the answer should usually be yes, I'm going to be doing it. Now, I can't pull back from here, unfortunately, but I can take this corner cover. The only flank I have to worry about is... Actually, this trooper might have one. The trooper cannot get to here for the flank. So the only one that can flank is the Purifier, and the Purifier has shots on open targets anyway, without taking suicide flanks, so I shouldn't have to worry about that, really. I'm gonna move up to corner cover here on Psycho Mantis. I don't think I can get anything done versus this stuff on the left, but... Oof. There's a Stun Lancer live back there. Yeah, maybe should have remembered that. Honestly, I'm going to zone suppress this lot. It's not going to do much, but... Like, I'm not using the shotgun next turn. I'm going to be using a flamethrower or a grenade pretty much guaranteed. It might be better to single target suppress the Stun Lancer, honestly. He's the only one that's taking a move that I'm really super afraid of. Yeah, Purifier's not taking the flank. Like I thought, he's going for Ashen Fortress. Not that he's doing anything. Oh, right, the Advent mech was on top. How did I not parse that? I'm so sorry, Iron Rhino. It's fine, she'll live. The Infirmary is being built. Revamp him or not, the flamethrower still just doesn't do anything. Very nice. Also, Iron Rhino could have died there thanks to the mech being forgotten about. And the Stun Lancer being forgotten about. Just forgot all those dangerous enemies. I just wasn't looking up top. That's all the mech was. I just wasn't thinking about it. The Stun Lancer was in Fog of War. 10 enemies deployed that turn. That happens. But the mech was something I should have remembered and just forgot about. Also, the game's been hanging for a while. Not sure what this is about. Okay, finally. I had it on 4 times speed for a while there. The Advent Assault looks like he ran forward and missed his attack on Mantis. Also, Assaults are just Stun Lancers. Don't be tricked. Need to remember that. He could take a shot at Rhino. It will be low percent, but it's his best chance to kill. I'm fine with all of that. Yeah, but Sniper's going for Mantis, I think? Nice.
They're all over me.
There are just so many active this turn. Unfortunate. Interestingly, it looks like when he gets hit in the shield, sometimes it just doesn't pop up the numbers. That's not it, it's just popping up after it pulls away, right? Also, very nice. Every time they miss, it's such a huge swing in my favor. Kinetic plating seems like a bad perk. Oh, when they miss you, you get 2 shields. Like, whatever. You don't want to get shot that much. It's not a big health value. But when you think about the sheer volume of fire that goes into Ashen Fortress, it represents a huge amount of health every mission. Anyway, let's figure out how to solve this nightmare. We've got 9 active. All told, that turn could have went a lot worse. Iron Rhino's alive, despite my best efforts to kill her. I think I just want to flashbang everything in the back this turn if I can. If I can kill the 5 enemies in the front, then we're in a really good spot. So it's just a question of the best way to make that happen. The Sectoid Soldier is pretty out of the way. Wait, I only see 4 enemies in the front. Where's man number 5? Oh, it's a sniper way in the back. That's still fine. That's still fine. It's probably better to swap to the other side and shoot the assault so that someone else can take this position. Not that anyone else can actually reach that position, I guess. I don't like it, but I'm just reloading and shooting the assault. It has a chance to kill, but I'm probably going to be forced to finish this off with someone else. Getting 6 would have been really helpful there, because then I could just one-tap it with a shotgun, but it wasn't in the cards. We can finish it off a variety of ways. Best way is... Ugh, I've just realized that Exalted Citadel is out of bullets. The best way is going to be to use Slash on Iron Rhino and pull back, I think. Just do this and then completely drop out of line of sight to the left. Which makes the shotgun shot wasted, unfortunately. I'm going to move all the way out of line of sight here. The mech is priority target number 1 at this point. It needs to go down. I think Frantic Nightingale moves here and drops a grenade on it. Again, same as last mech, really. It's just hard for me to imagine a better thing to be doing for my turn. The mech is just such a threat. I know the Sectoid Soldier is like basically the same thing, sans grenades, but sans grenades is a pretty big difference. First thing we're doing, we're reloading here. We have an 87 on the mech. We can step out here with Hidden Tornado and take our shotgun shot on the mech. Not on the objective, please. 81. This is really important. The number of shots we have to kill this are a big deal because it can result in us letting Exalted Citadel heal something instead of continuing to use shots. I'm going to move Stone Invader out behind Exalted Citadel and try to take the shot with her. This is 87. Good odds to kill. Ah, come on.
Target's still up.
So we're down to our mechs. I haven't overdrived yet on Ashen Fortress, or has it come back online? Yeah, no, I just didn't overdrive. It seems like an obvious shield bash on the mech, even though it's not remotely guaranteed to kill. Looks like we got it, though, because Relentless went off. I don't want to shield bash this Purifier. That sounds very wrong. I guess I'm just going to blast canister the Purifier. I really don't have anything better to do. A little bit too far away to catch the Soldier, unfortunately. We can overdrive. Move here for the flank shots and blast canister both. I've got the flank shot on the Purifier anyway. So it's a pretty weak overdrive if he's already dead. I'm considering just healing Exalted Citadel, though. Because at 8 health and 1 armor, he could conceivably go down if everyone shoots him. At this point, we're pretty well in control, so I'm willing to spend overdrive on this. These are the last enemies. 3 turns until the time's up. I should have mentioned that. The timer's somewhat relevant in this mission. Why? I full-on turned off timer tweaks. Every timer previously was increased by 4 or 2, depending if it was a long or short mission. I never felt pressure by the timer at all. I was expecting my mods to slow down missions quite a lot, and it just really hasn't been my experience. So we're going to play without the timer mod for a little bit and see how it feels. Odds are there's a middle ground where it's like 1 and 2 turn entries that feels right. But again, right now we've been playing like not particularly rushed, and we're easily in time to deal with the objective. So maybe I just don't feel like I need to use any timer tweaks mods. Anyway, let's get the turn started. We're going to be using blast canister on these 2. I just realized I moved all the way up to the purifier. Well, if he explodes from this, which would require a high damage roll anyway, we can heal him. See, he didn't explode. There was no reason not to. Terrible damage. Do we just do it again? I don't want to explode, so I'm actually going to run forward and shield bash the soldier instead. Oh well.
Missed intended target.
I'm going to pull back so that everyone can use him as a target. And on Exalted Citadel, I'm just going to take the 84 now that we failed to kill him. What? I was 2 tiles away, wasn't I?
This one change anything?
Well, Ashen Fortress, you gotta get wounded someday. My Reaper is just, like, not in position to do anything still. It's kind of frustrating. If I move here, I'll be in full cover relative to everyone who's in the back. With an 84 here, which doesn't actually kill, so what's it matter? Let's just keep moving forward, then. Are you flamethrowing Ashen Fortress again? They never learn. Ashen Fortress probably taking a wound here. At least that's a miss. That's really helpful.
Triaging damage.
And then the shield's gone again immediately. This is still all totally fine. We have Exalted Citadel here to fix him. This was always part of the plan, is that when he takes damage, it's just not a big deal, because we have people to repair him anyway. You have a dodge chance? Kinetic Strike is back up here, so we can go try to kill the Sectoid. It's critically important, however, that we repair first. I'm gonna run forward on Exalted Citadel and do that repair. We can't really afford that Ashen Fortress dying. And this should get him pretty close to back to full. Exalted Citadel dying would be very, very bad, but it wouldn't be half as catastrophic for the campaign. I can move down here for the flank on the Purifier and take my shot on him. If he lives, it's unfortunate, but it's unlikely, and I'll just be unconcealed and half cover, so who really cares? We'll reposition around over here just to make sure we don't get caught on fire. On Ashen Fortress, we 100% take this Kinetic Strike on the Sectoid Soldier. Actually, it's only 7 to kill. There are going to be better plays then. No, we still want to do that. Not the Kinetic Strike, though. There's no reason to use a cooldown. We just take the chance on Breakthrough. On Shield Bash, rather. If we'd hit that, it would have put the Soldier in range for a kill with Iron Rhino's Slash attack. I'm going to move Hidden Tornado up and see if I have a Demolition on the Sectoid, maybe. I'm like almost certain you can't destroy these things, so I don't really have a Demolition on him. It's glowing red like it would be destroyed, so I've saved. I'm going to see if it actually works. Yeah, no, it doesn't. Let's not do that then. UI's just hard lying to me. Now, sadly, I can't get very far forward with Stolen Invader here, so I'm just going to take the objective shot on her and deal with the timer. Problem solved. Now all we have to do is finish off the enemies. It's looking like the Sectoid's gonna get to live and we're dealing with everyone else this turn. If I slash here, I can at least fall back to corner cover, but that means I need to have this trooper dead. 1, 2, 3, 4. I'm missing somebody. Psycho Mantis is a squatty combat engineer, so the Sectoid Soldier could reposition here and shoot her if I come up here. But I kind of want the line of sight that this is gonna offer me. I want to see if anyone's back here when she runs forward. I want to pick up the loot before it starts to expire. There's nowhere I can get this turn that's actually a good position. So I think this is what I'm doing. There's a very small chance it gets her wounded, but almost no chance it gets her killed. Didn't figure out where the last enemy was during that. I'm actually just going to fall back to here and protect Psycho Mantis. That's obviously the correct thing to do now that I realize it's an option I have. I've got a gas grenade I can drop right here. Seems like the thing to do. Get on, Frantic Nightingale. The only person who needs to be moving through there anyway is the Ashen Fortress, and he's not getting poisoned. So the trooper's dead, the soldier is in the process of dying. The aim debuff is very nice. You can see it in action. He's down to 45 base. He literally can't hit people in full cover. Iron Rhino could finish him off, but he's kind of a non-threat now. The trooper on the right is actually a much bigger deal. So let's go fix this. Oh, that put him on fire.
I'm getting cold!
Yeah, that wasn't good then.
Target asset sighted. Hostile incriminated.
I still don't know. Oh, it's a heavy way in the back. Okay. Yeah, Iron Rhino's wounds were going to get healed to 45% anyway because of triage. So it's not a big deal that I made her burn for no reason, but it's obviously not correct. Poison ticking down, killing that enemy, down to 3. Sectoid Soldier is no threat whatsoever. He can't do anything. 52% at a point-blank shot against someone who's in the open. Alright, you guys are just embarrassing yourselves. Why did the sniper have a 53? Oh, close range penalty. That'll do it. Heavy, congratulations. You might be able to undo the damage your teammates did. Congratulations. You got rid of half the armor they gave him this turn. Jesus Christ. It's fine. 3 was the max roll. It's fine. There was no danger. Theoretically, I could run over and heal them now. I think that's pointless because I think triage is already doing that. I may as well, I guess.
Going in for the kill. Got it. Moving.
Just in case I'm wrong about this, I have extra medkit charges, so I'll do it.
Come on. Get back in the fight.
Adrenaline Rush is just such a good ability, let's be real. Now, my slash can get me poisoned. What about my run and gun? My run and gun can get me a kill. You know, some of the time. I'm gonna be taking run and gun, moving up here.
Already there.
Iron Rhino's mobile right now, but she's not the god of mobility that she'll be someday. Let's see if we got the kill. 75%. Easy game. We can always deal with it with our sparks by just jumping up, but it's nice to have it out of the way now. I'm going to take the kinetic strike on the sniper here. If it succeeds, then I can use my gun to finish off the soldier. And the reason I'm doing it this way is A, if I killed the sectoid soldier, I wouldn't have a flank on the sniper, and B, if I kill the sniper, the soldier's further up and easier to get a grenade onto. Anyway, let's try to finish this off. Ashen Fortress has the easiest MVP of his life this mission, I'm gonna be honest.
Down and the area is secure. Status confirmed. Mission accomplished.
3 wounds, I didn't realize it was that bad. Oh, the sparks. Yeah, they don't count. Let's check out the mission debriefing. Stone Invader doing good work, landing the shots, getting kills, doing good for a medic. I'm surprised they have Solo Slayer, despite feeling like I had them in the group the whole time. Iron Rhino doing really good work, 35 damage, 5 kills. Definitely ain't got time to bleed, did the most damage. Or had the most wounds, rather. I'm honestly surprised that didn't go to Ashen Fortress, who pretends to be wounded most of the time, but is in reality fine. Nightingale did a little bit of work, not too much. Psycho Mantis missing a lot of their shots, could have done a lot more work if they landed them. Ashen Fortress, 7 kills, 47 damage, landed every single shot he ever took. Close range, wanted destruction, overqualified, we all saw that coming. No awards for Exalted Citadel, yet another mediocre showing from them. Missing their damage roll on that first Viper, missing a pretty high % shot at some point. Could have easily had 4 kills and like 30-ish damage, but just didn't get there. And again, our Reaper doing good work scouting, but not really getting to participate too much in the fight because their low aim makes their shots unsafe. Hidden Tornado did not really do as much as I'd hoped they would. Their 25 damage is good, they definitely contributed, but that first rocket was catastrophically bad, and he could have been so much higher up on the tier list. We're done with stats, so let's go hand out the promotions.
As long as there's
Oh no, now they're both wounded and T-posing. Obviously, in the midst of a fatigue spiral where I want so many missions that I know I can't do, I don't want an 11-day wound, but it's not that bad thanks to triage. Field medics are just invaluable. We got a reflex sight, an 11 dodge PCS, woo. Lightweight frames are always nice to see. Advanced suppressor, what does this actually do? I really don't know what the point of suppressors are if you're not staying in concealment and shooting with your whole team. I just don't understand. We got our trooper stocks replenished with the exosuits, that's nice to see. We've also got 2 mech wrecks, so we can get started on the next mech now, or the next spark rather. We also have an advanced outrider flame, so we have even higher crit chance. Oh no. I just assumed there'd be downsides when we started going up. That's... oh no. Okay. Dark event countered, high alert's not happening, we get to keep our concealment. Now, first, let's go do the sparks. Our wound time is up to 7 days on the Pioneer, and on the Infiltrator, it's up to 5 days. So yeah, basically no wounds in the sparks, they're completely fine. Let's talk about this top line. I've marked nothing here, it's the stealth line. And I know this thing is called the Infiltrator, it's the infiltration tree, but stealth isn't something I want out of my sparks. I want them in the front, I want them to bait, I want them to be cover for my team, I want them to be durable. Being invisible is contradictory to all of that. The rifle line has a lot that features suppression and Overwatch, and I don't really care about on most of these. But there are 2 standout perks that I do want. Rapid fire is just insane, always has been, always will be. And Hunter Protocol is a 33% chance to shoot anybody when they first reveal. I obviously need to put on an expanded mag so I don't just randomly run out of bullets when I'm using this, but that's really, really good. The amount of throughput damage that generates over the courses of missions and campaigns is absolutely insane. And because I'm using Hunter Protocol, I actually end up wanting to get Sentry later, which is going to allow my reaction shots to crit, and it's going to increase their hit chance, which is the more important part. It also gives other bonuses. It gives me covering fire so I can shoot on shots rather than movement if I'm suppressing, but the big thing is just increasing the hit chance on Hunter Protocol. One of the main features of this spark is the support bit, and you can see I think the entire support bit tree is insane. It gains the ability to heal your teammates, it gets better at healing itself and others, it gets insane late game tech specials abilities like Vital Protocol and Restoration. And then outside of that, we're going to be looking at the offensive bit abilities, things like Bombardment Protocol, Shell Shock Protocol, all of this. For now though, it's just becoming an additional medic. It doesn't have triage though, this is only used for healing in the fight, it will do nothing to reduce wound times afterwards like a field medic would. Taking a look at Psycho Mantis, it's been a while since we've been here. It's a corporal combat engineer, so we're taking Smokescreen. Stone Invader, joining the ranks of our lieutenant field medics, taking Sentinel. It doesn't feel good. Applied knowledge and overcharged capacitors just feel less valuable to me, so I'll take the additional Overwatch shot when I do Overwatch. And that just leaves our Pioneer. Our highest rank class is still a lieutenant, making Ashen Fortress now 2 ranks higher than anyone else at Major. Or Paladin, as we call it for Sparks. Thermal Bulwark's a good ability. It gives you a 30% chance to deflect. This is really important that it's not defense, because if it were defense, they would still shoot you, but deflect is just a 30% to basically negate the attack. So I can shoot my flamethrower, get a 30% negation of damage, that's obviously valuable, but the other stuff is just insane. You have corroding compounds to pierce and shred armor with your flamethrower. It still doesn't affect mechs, but for anything else that's armored, it's very good. Untouchable guarantees a miss after you kill somebody. That's really, really strong, because that also guarantees 2 additional armor. It's just so strong, and I believe that Untouchable doesn't work if they would have missed anyway. It doesn't specify here, I think that's the case. Maybe that's only parry for Templar, so we'll find out. And Assault Servos. All melee attacks gain 2 damage and 20 aim. Also, you can run through walls now. So we're going to take Assault Servos, and we're immediately going to spend the AP we've been getting on this character, which we can't do. Once we can, though, we're taking Untouchable. The increase to accuracy Assault Servos represents, and damage, of course. Both of those things are really important, but the accuracy more so is insane. We need this ability more than we need Untouchable. We will be taking Untouchable as soon as we can, though. Now, let's talk about some mod changes and some gameplay realizations that I've had. First up, our barracks. The pressure that we're under, the fatigue spiral I constantly feel like I'm in, I've been planning it wrong. I realized this in editing, it's gonna have popped up in a previous video already, but I'm saying it now out loud. Supply drops aren't monthly. I just thought they were, that's how they worked in XCOM. You got the overview for March, and then the overview for April, so on and so forth. That's not how this game works. Eventually we're gonna have a month with 2 supply drops in it, because you get a supply drop every 3 weeks. It's every 21 days. If it were a month like I thought it was, we'd be going 33% slower than we are right now. We'd have 33% less pressure, and these problems wouldn't be happening. This isn't something that I'm bringing up because I have a solution to the problem or because it's changed my decision making, just to shine light on how bad the fatigue spiral really is. Coming over to my now incredibly busy proving ground, We're currently making experimental ammo to be done in 2 days. If we add a new project, can we slide it ahead of old projects? Oh wow, sparks take 30 alloys. That goes a long way towards balancing them. Yeah, that's why I'm out of alloys. I could have made like 6 predator armors instead of that spark. However, the main reason I came here was to talk about exosuits and heavy weapons. In the base game, if you build these at tier 2, then when you get to tier 3, they're useless. Well, they're not useless, they're still incredibly good, but they have no relation to making war suits or tier 3 heavy weapons. The Proving Ground overhaul that I've installed, it doesn't just make experimental ammo make sense, where you unlock them, now you know how they work and you can build them whenever you want. It adds upgrades. That's what the upgrade PCS things I've unlocked was. And it adds upgrades for exosuits and heavy weapons too, which means these tier 2 heavy suits are not useless like I thought they were. I previously thought that building these would ensure that I could not possibly afford tier 3 gear, but in fact, building these does translate to tier 3 gear and they're really, really strong, so I probably want to build these at some point. Which leads into another thing I'll have to talk about soon. I kind of need to go do that UFO mission. The alloys are not something I can pass up. Even if it forces me to go on a 3rd mission because of an interception, I still just need the alloys too badly. I've got to find a way to make it happen. There's one last thing I want to talk about. It's a late addition to the campaign. We should have had this at the start. The whole reason I didn't like the Rescue Den Mother mod is because it wasn't a proficiency class. And then I found out that there was a proficiency mod called the Field Supply Officer for Rescue Den Mother that made her into a proficiency class. However, we can still promote other soldiers to that class if we want to. And I'm introducing Field Support as a new class very late to the campaign. We're going to build 3 of them like our tech specialists. We're not going to build that many of them. But I do want to use the Field Support class. It seems well designed to me. There's just one thing that it does that was my original big hesitation about the class. So first, let's make Rumble Peacock into a Field Support. In 5 days, she'll be the first one we have. Coming over to her proficiency, it's tactical flexibility. This just gives her a lot of abilities, all of them relevant. She gets Supply Run. When she uses Resupply Ammo or Bandage Throw, it gives her a move-only action point. What are those abilities? Bandage Throw is a heal over time that you can use at range on one of your nearby teammates. It's very slow, it's not super powerful, but it is very useful. The big thing that this entire class brings to your team is Resupply Ammo. You need to see its actual description at the bottom, it seems. It lets you use an action to reload someone else's gun, and if you have experimental ammo, you give them that ammo type as well until they reload it with their own ammunition. That is generally just a good, strong thing. It has a lot of synergy with suppression classes like the Marine. The one outlier that this has, and the reason I originally was sketching out Den Mother as a whole, is it has insane synergy with artillery mechs. Artillery sparks, rather, because they have a one-shot gun. So suddenly, they don't need to reload their gun anymore, which would cause them to not fire it because their gun takes 2 shots. That interaction is incredibly strong, and it made me a bit sketchy about it. But the ultimate reason I decided not to run this class is because it wasn't a proficiency class. And now it is one, and I really like it, because it's the one true support class. Field medics heal, but they aren't really a support class, not bolstering your team or debuffing the enemy. That's what field support actually does, though. Coming back to tactical flexibility, what Supply Run does is when you use these support abilities, you get a move-only action point. Essentially meaning that if you plan to move that turn, these abilities are free actions. At level 2, you just get Adrenaline Rush outright. That's insane. You also get Low Profile. That's insane. These are both abilities I would choose to pick over other abilities. And at level 3, you get Phase and Sprint, allowing you to flank shot and move, ignore overwatches, and every 4 turns, you just get a free sprint ability that gives you a free move and only action. This is kind of all just absolutely crazy. They also have an integrated grapple. They have a couple of abilities involving this we'll talk about when we get to them. Their secondary weapon, their primary weapon, as you can see, is still an assault rifle. Their secondary weapon is unfortunately the hollow targeter, but they are much, much better with it with a dedicated tree than the marksman would be. And we'll talk more about field officers when we get to them. In terms of uniforms, because everyone has to have one, Rumble Peacock being our first one is bright pink. I like vibrant chains of pink and purple for our field supports. That's not a color we have taken yet, so congratulations on keeping your original aesthetic. And for making the A-team, maybe, let's see what her abilities were. Just by being the oldest field support, she has a good chance of being in the A-team. Her abilities include combat conditioning, support grenadier, and rapid deployment, so actually she probably will be our A-team field medic, or field support rather. But I look forward to using this class and showing it off someday. Not just yet, though. Having added this class, though, I do want to talk briefly about class numbers. See, already in base Proficiency Pack with all the plugins, you have 6 base classes, the Combat Engineer, 3 hero classes, and 3 sparks, totaling 13 different classes. On any given mission, you're not seeing at least 5 of them with an 8-man campaign. On Leviathan, which is 2 more units, you're not seeing 3 of them. Originally, that made me think you don't want more classes. But because of how tight the troop pressure is, you very rarely feel like you're cutting classes from teams. You're just putting in who's available. And it's not a decision to not take a sapper on this mission. Your sappers were just all wounded at the time. So I no longer feel nearly as much like having an 8th base class is going to result in seeing classes a lot less. I just don't think that's the case. In terms of Leviathan, I was originally thinking about which units go on Leviathan. I've already planned out my 10-man A team. I had already decided that I wasn't sending an infiltrator, an artillery, or a skirmisher to Leviathan. But I don't really like that. I want Leviathan to be like a showcase for the campaign. I want it to be this big, incredibly bloated mission with insane unit quantities. And as a consequence, I'm going to figure out the specifics later in the campaign. I have specifically boosted up the number of enemies on Leviathan compared to what the rest of the campaign has. And I am boosting my Leviathan squad size to 14, plus the avatar itself, so 15. And that means that 1 of every class goes on Leviathan. It's already going to be a huge mission with an 11-man squad, our normal 10-man squad plus the avatar. Going up 4 more classes is the ability to showcase every class in the final mission. I'm willing to accept the mission being a slower, more brutal fight in exchange for that trade-off. Coming over to the ongoing activity chain, we're not hunting the Chosen. We are going to assault the supply convoy. We are not counter-resistance informant. We're not saving the intercepted intel. So right now, the only ongoing chain is Raid Alien UFO. That says I only have 3 missions to think about. That can't be right. We have an upcoming terror mission. We have the upcoming assault here. What am I missing? Okay, looking at it, we have this mission. We definitely have a terror mission coming up. And we also have the second part of Counter Hidden Event. That's only 3 missions. And there's a lot of time between here and then, right? Like, this doesn't finish for 5 days. The assault could show up like right now, we don't know. The dark event could show up like right now, we don't know. But we get to use our mechs on every single one of those. I really think we need the alloys from this alien UFO raid. And I'm willing to send a 6-man squad on it. So let's go kit that out, because it needs to happen. We've only got 3 soldiers with a full will. We do have Apex Disaster, but we already have a medic on the team. So what I'm going to do, because my squad right now has 2 corporals in it, is just pick whoever the best people available are to fill out these last slots. So Napalm Blizzard is our best available combat engineer. Rogue Wallaby is our best available sapper. And I don't really want to send out Dead Titan with 2 corporals on this mission. I'm going to send out either another sapper or another combat engineer. I think combat engineers are the stronger class at this point in the campaign, and I don't feel super good about this squad, so let's get these guys out. Alright, looking at the team, their guns are incredible. They have 4 shotguns, a mag rifle, and the Exalt Long Lance. That's going to be very, very good. I'm also giving them the Shadow Keeper, AP rounds on Cosmic Sphinx. I don't need this flashbang on this team, because I already have 2 combat engineers with 2 flashbangs each. They've got a load of grenades with gas grenade stacking on the sapper. I'm not going to be giving this team any Predator armor. I'm going to be saving that for the upcoming assaults, I think. A part of me wants to save the Exalt Long Lance for those too, but I don't think we need that on these missions. I think we need the edge here. I'm going to take the speed loader on my sniper. Generally speaking, after firing 3 shots, you can probably get away with sprinting to a new position. Definitely going to put a scope at the very least on my medic's gun. And I'll be throwing at least basic laser sights on all of these shotguns just so I have enough to go around. This mission is going to take us 6 days and 8 hours. If I were feeling beyond ballsy, I could put them in civilian disguises to shave off 1.5 days. Bring that down to 5 days, 6 hours. This is a moderate difficulty destroy alien relay. At the very least, I can probably... What's the tile set? Subway? Maybe my sniper can't afford it then. I don't think this team is strong enough to wear civilian disguises. I'm considering using real armor on my combat engineers and civilian disguises on the rest, because the combat engineers can function as tanks to a degree. But with a 6-man team, I just feel like I don't have enough control over the mission, especially with this set of classes, with a medic and double stacked on combat engineers. I don't think things are well enough under control, especially in a subway map, for me to put on civilian disguises. We just have to eat the time. My understanding, though, is that after this, I have an upcoming assault for the Raid the Alien UFO, an upcoming assault for this, an upcoming Haven Defense, an upcoming assault for stopping the Hidden event. That's 4 missions. And that's it. There's nothing else that's guaranteed. If we get something like a supply extraction, we actually don't need to send soldiers on that. We can just send the Sparks, grab like 2 to 4 boxes and leave. That's fine. We don't actually have to exhaust anyone for those missions, I think. Our supply drop is in 16 days, which means we should be able to make contact and get this scientist first. So let's get back to scanning. We're only at 12 ready right now, which is a bit spooky, but that's actually pretty close to enough for 2 back-to-back assaults. What infiltration mission's expiring? That's probably the intel, right? It's the intercepted intel that's expiring. That's just 43 intel we had stolen from us. We can't do anything about it. Damn shame. Avatar project keeps on ticking along. Hopefully someday we'll have enough troops to, you know, do something about that.
Going to slow them down, we'll need to move fast.
Experimental ammo complete. We have Venom rounds now. That's another ammo type I'm happy to see, but it's not the one that I specifically want. Corrosive is the big thing in terms of engineering.
Commander.
I'm going to keep building experimental ammos. Corrosive rounds and dragon rounds, either of those would be really, really nice, because then I could build a couple more of them and just have flat plus damage rounds with additional effects to hand out to whomever I please. If I'm not able to make exosuits or additional sparks, then I don't really care about doing anything else. And right now we're at the point of the campaign where the experimental grenades just aren't that good. We're going to keep pushing through on more ammo types. And keep scanning at this scientist. An assault mission expires. This is, I think, for resistance contact, right? Or resistance informants, as it's called. Yeah, that's fine. We weren't stopping that mission. Resistant informant is complete. If it moves forward by 2 weeks and I was expecting it like this week, that probably means it's happening, yeah, now. View retaliation site. In the eastern US, we gotta stop the island retaliation. Operation Salt Bride.
US precinct.
The hunter is going to be here. It's a retaliation. What is our sit rep? What's the mission difficulty? No sit rep, just very difficult. In the past, very difficult has tended to be a lie on these retaliation missions, but you never know. Yeah, they just T-pose a little bit when they're wounded. Don't worry about it. They're turned off right now. That's the issue. Supernova and Black Cat are both available at the same time for once. Let's send them out together. So I've realized 2 things. We have a hidden cube and a hidden tornado. And also, hidden cube's body doesn't exist anymore. Nor do their customization options, so I'll be fixing that, I guess. That can't wait until after we've set up the mission, though. I got the squad kitted out. You can see that I'm using the Lux Hunter armor over on Lunatic Supernova. When I eventually have Predator armor for Black Cat, she's a sniper, she's not a priority. As bond mates, I'll be having her dressed pretty similarly. I like that as a uniform. I like bond mates matching it a little bit more. I've obviously got the 2 sparks on the mission. I have Hidden Cube and Liquid Danger. They don't really have anyone available to bond with right now anyway. Big Money's on an infiltration mission now. Won't be back for 2 days, and I'll probably be tired when he is. And then I have some really weak units just because they need to go on a mission sometime, and I've been doing really, really well on these retaliation missions. I've got both Sparks and 2 A-team members here, and it's not like Liquid Danger or Hidden Cube are weak. They're among my better soldiers anyway, so I feel like I can afford to take out these low-ranking sappers. I'm missing a combat engineer, I'm missing an assault, I'm missing any hero classes, so this could be a little bit rough, but I think we're okay. In terms of kit, we've got flashbangs on both of these weak sappers, otherwise grenades and shotguns, tracer rounds on our Marine with the Exalt Mag Cannon and the Prototype Plated armor. I've realized that Prototype Plated, like civilian disguises, is sort of improperly setting you to look a certain way. This is the XCOM 1 armor, and that's why it's clipping so much and there's nothing I can do about it. It's not even mod related. What was mod related was my Hidden Cube problem. He has a torso again, I fixed him. His loadout is to carry more grenades than God, that's all. Over here on Black Cat, she should be carrying a pistol. Sad to say that I don't have Shadowkeeper available, but she's got fire rounds, so her pistol's actually killing troopers in 1 hit right now, which is kind of wild. And a singular grenade, because why not? Our medic has a med kit, venom rounds, and a grenade. Again, no reason not to give him the venom rounds. They're available, he can use them. And these 2 are doing their thing. They have the same gear with the same mods they always have, except now this is an advanced Outrider frame instead of just an Outrider frame. That's it for today. Tomorrow we'll take on our third retaliation and see if they're still weird and just like 10 pods of 1 to 3 dudes each, or if we're getting real pods on the map that are a serious threat to our well-being. I've been Rather Incoherent. I hope you enjoyed the series. I hope you're liking my T-posing mechs, because they're here to stay. And I'll see you in the next one.